He thought it was something that it really wasn't. And that's why you got to be careful doing all these interviews and talking to the police. Even if they retire or what have you, they got you. Okay, so this had to be my first video back, to be honest with you, because this gonna be a good one. Now, what's going on, everybody? It's your girl B Octavia, and I am back with another video. Now, I know I told y'all I'll be back this time, I'll be back that time. I'm getting old enough to tell you this right here. I'm not going to keep making promises like, oh, tomorrow, oh, this day, no specific dates. But what I am going to do is build my consistency back to is where it's like I never left. You know what I mean? Moving on from that, I'm back. Okay. And today we're going to talk about something that I'm very passionate about. And that just so happens to be Tupac Shakur's murder. Now, I feel like just like a lot of things, I have my own beliefs about it, and I'm going to share that with y'all today. And also share how elated I am by the news of him being arrested in connection with Tupac's murder 27 years later. Now, this means a lot to me because I'm almost 27 years old. And for somebody that passed away before I was born to be immortalized, Tupac is one of those people who the masses will tell you he's still alive. Do I believe that? No. But everybody had their own beliefs, and I respect whatever. You know what I mean? And I'm going to tell y'all my belief in saying that I feel like Keefe D was the trigger man. As we know, his association or connection with this murder all happened because his nephew got his ass whooped in the lobby of the Tyson fight. Mind you, that fight only lasted a few minutes, 15 or so. You know, that's how Mike Tyson was. I wish I could have saw a fight. Even now, I mean, just to see him spar and do his I'd be amazed. You feel what I'm saying? But I digress from that. His fights ain't last too long. He was that good. Fight is over. Tupac and his entourage, which is filled with Suge and Blood members and shit, they come on out and they see Orlando with, I believe it was a death row chain on. And that was a bad, that was a bad move on him. Even though it's status quo, it's not a surprise for somebody to snatch a nigga chain and then wear that motherfucker. You know, it's typical, to be honest, but that was bold on Orlando's part. He wearing the chain. Suge and them spotted. They go over, lay hands on him, and Tupac jumps on in, right? So Orlando get his ass whooped. Then all parties leave. Tupac go, he get himself together. The entourage go, get theyself together. Orlando make a few calls, call his uncle. We all know the rest is history. Of course, we know these stories and what have you, but the younger generation that's coming up, they might not know. Like, it's always going to be somebody out here that don't know the certain specifics of situations, even though a whole lot of people in the world know. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So Tupac and them, they ride out, and Tupac is in the passenger seat. It's people in the back, and it's Suge driving. Suge is or was the terrible leader and owner of Death Row Records. He had Dre, and then Dre got up out of that. He had Snoop, I believe. He had Snoop. Snoop got on out of that. And I believe Tupac was next to leave Death Row. But that's another topic for another day. So boom. They riding, and at the same time, Orlando and them riding as well. And they riding looking for the folks who just jumped Orlando. So however long it took, don't really matter because history say Orlando and them found Suge's car, found all of them in the, found the entourage. They stopped at a red light and shots was fired. Shots started ringing out. Majority hitting Tupac that was in the passenger seat. A lot of people would say instantly that Orlando was the shooter. I mean, he had the most feelings towards the situation because he just got his ass whooped. And I mean, that could be true. But at the same time, Orlando, if you look at it in a different way, Orlando is the perfect fall guy. No pun intended. He's the perfect fall guy. Think about it. Shortly after this shooting happens, he go back to his hood. He doing whoop-de-woo. He had a car wash, get in a shootout. He kill somebody and get killed himself. Meaning, police can't question him. Whoever in the scenario say it wasn't them, we Xing them out and we gonna blame the dead guy. Perfect fall guy. And especially for a washed up gangbanger as Keefe D was. I mean, you do a lot and anything to keep yourself on. See, nephew probably wanted to really get his ones. He probably wanted to get his ones in and entourage versus entourage and it not be entourage versus one man. He probably wanted to get his ones. But it was a gun in the car. I can really see that. I can see that full on happening. Orlando want to get his ones and motherfuckers ain't on the same accord. I feel like just like Keefe D he wanted to prove so bad that he wasn't going to get arrested and keep doing these interviews and keep talking. He wanted to keep himself on. And I feel like those type of characteristics, it don't start or stop when you get older. I believe those type of characteristics have been instilled in a person like him for decades and decades. Selfish, snitch, and then you self-snitching. You're not just snitching on folks. You not just, and my thing is, he don't have to say my nephew was the shooter. He don't have to say that. My thing is, if you are withdrawing your involvement and you withdrawing everybody else involvement, and when Orlando come up and you not saying no, he was not the shooter, you might as well say he is, because you ain't giving no more options and saying that you're not going to get arrested because the police got their guy. No, it doesn't work like that. Him talking so much without saying a lot, just being very repetitive and not consistent, it's a difference in that. He reminds me of OJ. And of course, I have my own beliefs about that. Ever since I was a little girl, I knew that OJ did it just based on how he talked, how he spoke. It's all in the way that you speak on a person, especially if you wrapped up in a murder. It's all about how you speak on a person, how you speak on or view a situation, and the type of honesty or lack thereof that you use or say or don't say. Orlando Anderson is the perfect fall guy. Perfect. When I saw that Keefe D actually got arrested, you know what I said? I said, oh, this is perfect. And for me, justice doesn't even look like, I can't even tell you a sentence for that. I can't tell you what they're going to end up giving them, what they're going to dumb it down to, what's going to happen. I don't hold faith in the judicial system, in specifics within the judicial system, right? But justice to me looks like he got arrested. It say in connection to Tupac Shakur's murder. That's good enough for me. If he don't have to do no real time, if it's only a few years, if it's not, him being arrested and that being officially tied to his name after so long is a blessing, because you not ever supposed to get away with just talking so brazenly and with such confidence. God don't miss, and neither does karma. God don't miss. Oh, ain't it good? Ain't he just good? He's good. And see, my thing is, it happens at the right time. I love the fact that he is an old ass man now and his bones wore down, and he's going to be losing his fucking mind even more so than if he was to get arrested in connection with this when he was younger. Ooh, karma don't miss. Ah, karma do not miss. Just like with OJ. Speaking of OJ, he got acquitted of the murder, but then he went to go do some dumb shit with the memorabilia and all that, and got arrested and had to do that bid. That was karma for me. That was good enough. I'm a that's good enough type of girl. You feel what I mean? I'm that, you know? So it's good enough. It's good enough. But the people or the person that I really feel bad and I really feel sorry for. And I know that she wouldn't want me to feel sorry for her necessarily. But as a mother, I feel so sorry that Tupac's mom isn't able to see this, on earth. Because I know that she's an angel and she made it. She made it. She made it in a space where she is protected by God and his angels, and that's a blessing. And I know that she can see it from up there. But my thing is, I would have loved for this to be right on time with her being able to see it. And I can say people, because I also feel so sorry that Biggie's mother isn't able to see any type of justice to this point. Do I still have hope? Yes. But there hasn't been any movement with that. And that breaks my heart for both men. It breaks my heart, but more so for Biggie, because it's like, damn, we not getting nothing. No movement. That's how we're going to do the East Coast. And that's how a lot of our family members have been done. So to see somebody so high profile be done the same way and not see justice, I can't. It's something that you just can never get over. It's very disheartening. It really is. And I'm not saying that this is all the way justice for Tupac. This is only the tip of the iceberg. But I'm ready. I'm ready to see what happens. I'm ready to get this shit shaken. I'm ready to see him passing out in court like Suge did. Straight up. So justice may look different to a lot of different people, It may look a lot different than what I'm saying. But I take what I can get, especially out of the judicial system. And I am so happy that even if his heart just dropped that one time when they put them cuffs on him and said what he was being arrested for. Oh, that feel. I just wish I was witnessing that, because I would just catch chills. He really thought that he could push all of the role and responsibility on any and everybody else that was in that car, especially his own blood. Ain't that a son of a bitch? When your demise happened and then your motherfucking uncle come out the woodwork saying, yeah, I was in the car, but it wasn't me. it was who was sitting beside me, and who was sitting beside me was my nephew. You a bitch. I would never. That ain't what no OG do. And an OG ain't damn sure ain't finna keep getting on here talking all this bullshit on these interviews, having them pumping your head up, and then you gonna be the same one to blame them, just like people blame Vlad for getting them locked up and getting them indicted. The same shit, you gonna do the same shit these people that you was geeking. You was geeking. You was real life geeking to get on a platform and to get your name on the videos and do all this shit with your flannels on and all this. And look where it got you. Running your mouth and talking out the side of your neck about somebody who had more talent in a left thumb than you will ever have. And I'm gonna nip this in the bud right now. It's something that I've been wanting to say when it comes to this, and it's this. Do I believe that even if Tupac didn't get involved in that fight, that he would be alive today? I don't think so. I think he still would have got shot. Now, the placement of his wounds and all that could have been different depending on where he was sitting. Yes. Because they up on what's that? My right. They on Tupac's right. He could have been sitting in the back on the left. You feel what I'm saying? Behind the driver. And that kind of would have changed the trajectory of everything. You feel me? But needless to say, he would have still got shot. If his placement was different, it would have been in different locations, and he could have probably survived that, depending on how many times and all of that, And if God says it's your time to go, it's your time to go. But I say that to say, I think that it ain't even, I think that Tupac was the biggest fish of all in that car. Being the biggest fish, you're going to want to take that out to prove your point. To prove a point, niggas will do a lot of shit, and some really dumb shit, some really fucked up shit, some shit that really ain't gonna make sense 27 years later. And if it don't make sense, don't talk about it. Because a lot of the people that interviewed him as well, they pussyfooted around. It's like, come on, ask him what y'all really need to ask him. Don't just have him on here talking and running his mouth, because it's not gonna be conducive to him as he thinks it is. Damn sure ain't. So the only thing that they lacked is responsibility to be real with this old man and tell him, like, look, the feds is listening and can listen and take anything that they want to off of this platform for their benefit and goal. A lot of police, feds, detectives, all that dropped the ball when it came to this. And it's good to see that some motherfuckers is picking it back up and running with it. And let's just see how it goes. Tupac probably should have got away from Suge and them way sooner than he wanted to. And, that's how far loyalty goes with some people. And you sometimes with some people, you just know. The way that they show loyalty is standing right there beside you, is going through hell and hot water with you, and that's going to fight and do whatever the fuck they need to prove whatever point that you're trying to prove. The person they're being loyal to, it ain't even their point. And Tupac died because of it, and it's sad. It sucks. We lost a really, really good guy who had a lot of maturing to do. He had a lot of growing to do, a lot of maturing to do, and more to learn. And I wish a lot of people made it. I really do. But we in 2023, almost 2024, and I'm damn glad as somebody on the outside looking into all of this, that justice is playing out right in front of our faces. So without further, I'm gonna get on out of here. It's your girl B Octavia. Thank y'all for watching, tuning in, chopping it up with me. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. And I'm gonna see y'all on my next video.